Great. So welcome to chair yoga. Today we're going to be focusing on just building our resilience. And that means like loosely just to kind of calm things down, or like deregulate the nervous system when we get stressed. So building that resilience up, so that we can handle things like things that come up in life and we're not already like stressed out. So this be a nice gentle practice. Anything you can do like to calm things down. You can go back to this one as many times as you need to really calm your nervous system down. So if you have something going on in life and you're feeling stressed out, this is perfect. So we'll be doing movements, we'll be doing some breathing. I'm actually gonna do like a really like slow body scan at the very beginning, just to really get you connected to your body and out of your head. So let's just start out with our hands resting gently on our thighs, or you can put them on your belly, and we'll have our eyes closed. So with your eyes closed, I want you to just take your toes, wiggle them around. You can lift them up off the floor and then really feel grounded. So we want to zoom in all the way down to our feet, because the most important thing we're going to do today is feeling grounded and feeling safe. So anytime we're talking about nervous system regulation, we want to feel that. We want to feel safe in our space. We want to feel grounded. And this just allows for everything else to kind of follow in. Okay, and then also your seat. So since we're sitting, we want to feel the bones here at the base of our spine. So that'll be your two sit bones, your tailbone, and your pubic bone. You want to feel the bones heavy on your chair. So let's just go into the breath to begin. Take a smooth inhale through your nose and a smooth exhale through your nose. And we're just following the breath in, and then follow the breath back out again. Sounds simple, right? Just breathing in and out of your nose. But many times what happens, we'll start here and then we'll start to get distracted by our mind just carrying us off to unknown places. And the magic happens is that when you're doing this type of practice, that each time you notice that your mind is taking you to a different place, then you're going to gently bring it back to the breath, following it in and following it out. So let's just do that. Not giving you any other instructions to do, no breathing practice, just noticing as you breathe in what you feel, as you breathe out what you feel. Maybe noticing sounds in your environment. A lot of times sound can really anchor us to the present moment. Smells can also, so anything that you happen to, maybe flowers or something around you that has a nice scent, that can also bring you present and aware. Another one is textures and sense of touch. So perhaps hands resting on your pants or on your shirt, feeling the textures there. I know it's becoming very commonplace for folks to have what they call fidget toys, but that could be like a squishy ball or other little objects that people hold in their hands to help them stay grounded and keeping them feeling safe. So that's another option if you have a tendency to get anxious. And then just try to bring your awareness to how we're sitting. So I want you to pay attention to your posture, not how it looks, but how it feels. So we'll start at the bottoms of your feet and just making sure you can feel your entire foot, your left side and your right side on the ground. and then up the legs, and then feeling the base of your spine. And we want to try to settle ourselves equally weighted on both sides of the pelvis, so right side and left side. And then coming up the spine to the shoulders, same thing, just having the shoulders relaxing down and also making sure that you're not rounded forward, so the spine is straight. And the tongue is just resting at the roof of your mouth, and that allows for the top of your head to lift straight up. So when we are sitting more aligned in our posture, we can breathe better in and out of the nose. Feeling the breath coming down towards the belly and then letting that breath go. And then just become aware of sensations, anything at all. And you just notice it without becoming attached. Okay, let's just take 1 or 2 more breaths here in awareness. And then we'll join our palms together, placing the thumb knuckles at your heart space. And we'll begin our practice today with an intention. So you're going to set your intention of just being curious, of just being aware of your body as we go through the whole practice today without becoming distracted. Just calming things down. And then we'll go ahead and let that intention go. So you're just going to extend those arms out, just releasing that intention. And just let your arms fall all the way down by your side. So let the arms feel heavy, let the shoulders feel relaxed. And again, we're staying connected to the ground. So again, wiggle the toes, reconnect, re-anchor to the feet and to the pelvis on the chair. Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll do a little bit of movement. We'll do like some movement for the wrists and the joints. And then we're going to do a full body scan just to kind of see where we are. And then we'll do practice, and then we'll come back to it at the end and kind of see how things have shifted. Okay, so let's just do quick little movements just to kind of get things awakened. And I want you each time you move, so we're going to start with the wrists. So we're just going to do circles. I want you to just close your eyes and just tune in to the feeling of the movement of your wrists, right? So just noticing what it feels like, noticing any sounds like crackling or popping sounds, whether the movement feels smooth, if it feels tight. So you're just kind of naming it without becoming attached. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and just start to maybe take your fingers and spread them out wide and make fists, and we'll do that multiple times. And the same thing, if you keep your eyes closed, not paying attention to what it looks like, just what it feels like, without any sort of attachment. All right, and then we're just going to shake that out. And then we're just going to do some shoulders, like up by the ears. You're going to draw them down and back and around. So making some circles here. And again, just noticing what it feels like, noticing if there's any sounds attached to it. It feels smooth, or maybe it feels a little tight. And then go the other way with those circles. Awesome, and then relax. Now we're gonna move our torso around in circles, but you're gonna stay anchored to your hips. So we're gonna move in a circle. So your body is generally just gonna go all the way around. And you might feel this in your back, perhaps maybe the lower back, maybe in one side or the other. And again, not attaching to anything, we're just feeling and noticing, being present with sensation. And these types of movements are really nice for calming the nervous system. And let's go ahead and circle the other way around. And then we're going to come back and find center. We'll move through about 6 rounds of seated cat and cow, and so we're moving the spine into extension and then into flexion. Right, so we're moving into a range of motion here that feels good on the body, nothing should hurt. And we're moving the spine all the way from the tailbone to through the neck, and we'll say to the top of your head because you are moving the neck in space, so you'll go all the way through. And again, better if you have your eyes closed because then you take away that stimuli of vision, and we're just going inside and noticing. Do one more. And then we're going to come back and stop in the middle. So now we'll go down to the ankles and feet. So you can slide back a little bit into your chair or pick one leg off the floor. And we're going to start with the ankles. So circling those around. Again, you can watch your foot circling around, or you can just simply close the eyes and notice. So sometimes we'll have tension on one part of the ankle. A lot of times ankles will make cracking sounds. That's okay. Just notice it. Go the other way. And then we're just going to wiggle those toes a little bit, see if you can spread them apart and try to squeeze them together. Just do the best that you can. And then we're just going to straighten the leg and bend it a few times. So just reaching the leg out and letting the knee bend. This will work the thigh as well as the knee joint. And just 2 more of those. And we'll switch over to the other leg. So lifting the leg off the floor just so you can get those ankle circles in. And now we have another side to compare to. So noticing if this ankle feels any different than the other one. And any noise associated with it. And then we'll go to the toes. I want you to spread them apart as much as you can, then squeeze them together, wiggle them around. Notice if this is easier or more challenging on the side. And then we'll go ahead and straighten the leg fully and then bend it. So we're straightening and bending. And then we'll set that foot down. And now we're going to go into that full body scan. So I want you to get yourself comfortable. If you want to put a prop like your pillow behind you, you're welcome to do that. You can also slide yourself all the way back against the back of your chair and close your eyes. Hands can be resting anywhere that they're comfortable. And we're just going to literally start at the top of your head. So all we're doing is scanning through, and as I name these parts, I want you to bring awareness to them without any sort of story or attachment. So this is just taking us through the entire body. Okay, eyes are closed, breathing is normal. Try to do as much as you can to relax here. Starting at the top of your head, so start at the crown of your head. And then we're going to work our way down to the forehead. And then we'll go to the right eye, the right eyebrow, the left eye, the left eyebrow. And then we'll go down to the nose and the right cheek and the left cheek. Then to your lips and to your chin. And then the right side of your jaw, the right ear, the right side of your head, the back of the head, the left side of your head, the left ear, and the left jaw. Then we're going to go to the front of the neck and the throat, and the right side of your neck, the back of the neck, and the left side of your neck. Then we'll go right top of the shoulder, right arm, upper arm, elbow, forearm, and then we'll go through the fingers, thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky finger. Your right wrist, and then all the way back up to the shoulder. And then we'll go across the chest to the other side. So left top of shoulder, left upper arm, left elbow, left forearm, and then in your hand we'll go left thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky finger. And then back up to the shoulder. We'll go behind it, so we'll go a shoulder blade on the left, then the middle back, so in between the shoulder blades to the right side. And then we'll go down the right side, all the way down to the low back, and then across the mid part of your low back, over to the left side. And then noticing on the front side of your pelvis, like lower belly, the middle part of your belly, and the left side of your belly. We'll go left side of the rib cage, middle of the rib cage, and then right side of the rib cage. So we have lots of organs in here. So noticing anything there, any sounds that might be coming from your belly from digestion. And then we're going to go down to the right hip. So the right side of the pelvis, where you're sitting. So that'll be your gluteal muscles there. Then we'll go down the right leg, so the thigh, and then the knee on the right side, the right lower leg, right ankle, and right foot. And we'll come all the way back up to the right hip, and then the middle of the pelvis. It's like the tailbone to the pubic bone to the left side of the pelvis. So left hip, left glutes, left thigh, left knee, left lower leg, left ankle, and left foot. And then all of the toes. And then all the way back up to your left hip. And then we're going to zoom all the way up to the center of your chest where your heart is. And just noticing any sensations around the heart beating, the feeling of your breath coming in and out. And then we're finishing all the way back at the top of your head where we began. And then any sensations as a whole body, right? So from encompassing the entire body, from the head down to the toes, all is one sensation. Okay, and then you're just going to gently, slowly blink open your eyes and bring everything around you into your awareness. And just take a moment to see how you feel after we've done an entire body scan. And if you noticed anything during the scan that called your attention, just being curious about it without any sort of attachment. Sometimes we have the tendency to catastrophize things. So we want to make sure that we're not doing that. We're just noticing it, but just a gentleness and a kindness and a loving way so that we're not trying to attach anything to it, right? It just is. So that's the important part about building this resilience, is that we're trying to calm things down, calming that nervous system down, and not always jumping from thought to thought to worry and stressor, because our body needs a break from all of that. So now we're going to just do some gentle movement just to kind of get everything going, and then we're going to calm everything back down again at the end of the practice with just our Shavasana, right? Which is what Shavasana is designed to do, so calm everything down. So let's go ahead and slide forward a bit onto our chair, feet are flat on the floor. Again, we're anchoring to the feet, we're anchoring to the base of our spine here. And the arms are going to circle all the way up. So we're gonna take a full breath in. And then your palms are going to join together at the heart space. Okay, so what we're gonna do is a little bit of seated sun-type salutations. So we're gonna inhale, reach the arms up, and on your exhale, we're going to hinge forward any amount. So you're gonna swoop the arms all the way down. You can bring them down to the floor or anywhere, maybe on the legs. And this will just be your seated forward fold. So stay heavy on the chair, and then we're going to reverse it. So we're gonna start by sliding your hands up, and then when it's appropriate, reach the arms all the way out. Big breath in, palms together, exhaling, hands to heart center. Do that same thing again with the breath. Inhaling, exhaling to hinge. So you're coming down any amount. Take a pause at the bottom, and then slowly coming back up with an inhale. Arms reaching high, and then exhaling, hands to heart center. We're going to do one more of these. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in to return, breathing out, hands to the heart center. All right, we're going to release the arms down, and then we're going to take a side bend. So a couple different ways you could do it. You could just leave your arms hanging down by your side. If you have any shoulder stuff going on, you can also reach one arm up and over. And you can put a hand behind the head, or you can have that arm fully extended. So we're gonna take 3 breaths into the lungs, filling up, and then letting go. So our breathing, our relaxed breathing is helping us to also calm down. So let your breath be a bit slower here, other side. So any variation of these side bends, calm breath. And then slowly returning, coming all the way back to seated mountain pose. All right, now we're gonna do leg stretches. So we're gonna reach down, grab a leg, lift it up, pull it into your chest, and then we're gonna straighten it out. We'll do 2 more like that. So you're gonna exhale, pull it in, inhale, stretch it out. And then you'll bend that knee, place it back on the floor, release those arms, inhale, exhale, arms down. And then switching sides, reaching down, grab a leg, lift it off the floor. We're gonna hug it in as you exhale, stretch it out as you inhale. And then gently set it back to the floor, release those arms, big breath in, exhale, breath out. Okay, legs. We're going to step them out a bit wider. And our hands are going to go right to the inner thighs, so close to the knee joint. We're going to hinge forward. We're going to do a little bit of rotation. So on your exhale, we're going to turn, look over one shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, switch. Keep going with this one. Go slow enough that you can really feel and experience this twist. Feels really nice on the back as well as the shoulders. So if you notice any tension there on your body scan, this one's nice for that. Plus tactile sensation, feet on the floor, hands touching those legs. So we always want to anchor to something. This is our last one here. Then you're coming all the way back up. Keep the legs separated. Now we're going to inhale the arms reaching apart. Palms are up. So what we'll do is we're going to inhale the arms up. And then exhale, separate the hands and elbows down. So we're going to have our arms in the shape with the elbows straight up from the shoulder joints. And then we're going to inhale, arms up. Exhale, pull them down. And we feel this in the shoulders and the upper back. So gliding sensations of the joints. Nothing should feel like achy or tight. If it does, just reduce the range of motion. So maybe the arms don't come all the way up here. Good, 2 more. And 1 more. Awesome, arms down. Then we're gonna put one forearm, you're just gonna rest it on your thigh. You can have the palm facing upwards. And then we're gonna do arm circles with the other one. So circling around, 4 each direction. Again, your range of motion. Slow enough that you can feel everything, not rushing through. Remember, this is about calming things down, building up that resilience to stress. We're gonna go the other way. So focus on the breathing, not so much on the movement. Last circle. Once that arm comes all the way down, we're going to come all the way up, sit tall, take a breath, and then switching sides. Same thing, circles, big ones around, reaching out in all directions here. Okay, and then we're going to switch directions, this last one. Breathing in, breathing out. Okay, this will be the 4th one around. And then slowly sitting back up again. All right, we're gonna turn to face the other side. So both feet will be together and we're sitting up tall and we're gonna take our arms straight out in front of us. We're gonna turn to the back of the chair. You're gonna place your hands right on the back of it as you turn into it. We're gonna gently push down into the chair. I want you to feel from your tailbone to the top of your head is growing, feet connected to ground. Your ribs and your shoulders, your neck and your head are turning towards the back. So breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. 4 breaths here. Eyes can be open or closed. Okay, as we finish up this last breath, we're going to turn all the way back to face in that direction. But now we're going to take that outside leg. You can scoot a little bit. And then you can take that leg and stretch it out, or you can have it bent behind you, whatever is comfortable. We're gonna do like a warrior 1. So straight leg or bent leg, whatever feels comfortable. Make sure you feel grounded, both the feet and on both sit bones. Arms are gonna reach in front. You're gonna stretch the arms forward first, like you're trying to find something in front of you. And then we're slowly going to take those arms up any amount. When you meet resistance, that's when you're going to pause there. And we're going to hold this. We're going to look straight ahead. And again, we're going to have the crown of the head lifting upwards. Your tongue is going to be positioned. Roof of the mouth, the tip of the tongue behind those front teeth. Slow, steady breathing. One more in breath. And then on your exhalation, we'll let those arms come down real slow. And then we're going to turn face forward again. So pause here in your seated mountain pose. Close your eyes. Just take a moment to check in with everything. What you're feeling, any sensations. Notice the mind, especially if it has wandered off somewhere. Let's bring it on back here to the breath, into the body. Feel your feet, wiggle your toes. Feel the base of your spine. All right, let's go ahead and open those eyes. We're going to take that walk bone to the other side. We're going to start with that seated twist again. So we're going to begin with the arms in front, and then you're going to turn to the back of the chair, placing the hands there. And as you get your hands there, go ahead and push down slightly and just turn those ribs, the shoulders, head, neck. Your hips are facing forward still, and everything else is facing to the back of the chair. And I want you to breathe nice and deep into your rib cage. So you should feel the ribs widening on the in-breath. And then as you exhale, feel the ribs moving closer towards each other. Spine is straight up and down. So feeling the tailbone up to the crown. Last breath here. And then as you release on that exhalation, we're coming all the way back. So you're still facing forward. We're going to go into that warrior one. So you can scoop yourself a little bit off the front edge of your chair, just so you can get this leg either back behind you or out to the side, any way that feels comfortable. But I want you to again ground through those feet, ground through the chair with both sit bones. And then we're going to reach those arms in front. And I want you to imagine there's something in front of you that you're going to be reaching for. This is going to take your shoulder blades and a little bit of a protraction, and then we're taking them up. Go slow, right? Noticing where you get stuck. Don't force it, just allow your shoulders to relax. And then we're staying here and we're finding our breath. Gentle, relaxed breathing. Gaze straight ahead. Spine is long. Tailbone through the top of the head. Check and see where your tongue happens to be. See if we can get it to the roof of your mouth. Help to align the head and neck, reducing tension all around the neck and the upper back. All right, as you exhale, bring the arms down first, and then you can bend that knee and transition all the way back to the center, where we'll be back in our seated mountain pose, sitting up nice and tall. Close your eyes, breathing in and out of the nose, noticing any sensations. So we're going to take a seated back bend next. So if you want to grab a prop, I would grab either a yoga block or a pillow, and you're going to place that behind your upper back. So you're going to get it behind those shoulder blades up there. And then you're going to sit back into it. So automatically you're going to start to feel there is a stretch, a gentle stretch happening here around the upper chest, collarbones, and then also around your rib cage. What we're going to do is place our hands just below where you feel your ribs. So it'll be right around where your navel is. And we're going to keep leaning back into the support. And we're going to take diaphragmatic breaths. We'll take about 5 of those. So you're going to breathe in through the nose. You're going to have your eyes closed. Feel your feet on the floor. And we're grounding. And we're opening the space all around the chest and the heart. Okay, last breath. All right, sit up tall, gently take out your prop. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come into a forward bend over top of your pillow or your block. And you want to have it situated like right here where those ribs are. That's where the diaphragm attaches. We want to bring that in. So you can just kind of use your hands and just kind of mold the pillow right there. Or if you have a block which is a little bit more, has those sharper edges, you might want to put something soft around it so it's not jabbing you too much. That's why a pillow or a rolled up towel or blanket's probably better. So you're going to hug it in, which is going to give you a little bit of resistance here. I'm just kind of clasping my opposite wrist and kind of holding it there in place. The other option is you could gently fold onto it, which gravity is going to help you get that pillow positioned up underneath the rib cage. So we're going to take about 5 diaphragmatic breaths, whether you're sitting tall and pulling the pillow in, or you're using that a little bit of gravity by leaning onto your thighs. All right, so let's close the eyes. And we're gonna take a nice breath into the nose. I don't want you to take full breaths, but I want you to take deep breaths. I mean, you're gonna feel it in your belly, but go slow. About 5 counts. Inhale, 4 or 5 counts inhale. Longer exhale. So the diaphragmatic breath is where we want to be, and it's going to assist us in getting into our parasympathetic sympathetic nervous system, meaning we're going to be more relaxed and at ease rather than feeling anxious or feeling like we need to flee from something. That is our sympathetic nervous system, which is our fight and flight. And then the gateway breath is going to be this deep diaphragmatic breathing. And just by adding this little bit of resistance will help to build that. Okay, last breath. And then you can just, if you're already folded over, again, come up first. And then we'll all take the pillow and just set it off to the side. And then go ahead and scoot forward a little bit more onto your chair. We're going to hold on to the chair. We're going to lift our heels off the floor, separate your knees just a little bit wider, and we're going to do windshield wiper legs, just allowing those knees to track to the right and to the left, and just go real slow with it. And then we're going to come back to the center and just allow those heels to drop. And now we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, and your knees will be slightly apart. And if you slide just a little bit further forward, you're going to have a little bit more control of bringing those knees together and apart. So you'll be on the side edges of your feet here. As you bring the knees together, the feet will tend to more come to the flat on the floor, but not all the way. So we're going to squeeze the knees together and let them fall apart. Squeeze, relax, squeeze, relax. So we're feeling tension and we're feeling relaxation. Tension, relaxation. So we're teaching our body the difference between feeling tense and feeling relaxed. And you can do this with anything, and I'll show you what the easiest one to do it with. It's going to be your hands, where we make fists. So this will be the last one of these, and then you'll separate your feet. Okay, so if you're feeling, you build up this like excess energy when we feel anxious or stressed, when we need to spend it, right? We need to get rid of it. So a good way to do it is you can do wall presses, like go to a wall, push your hands against it, just push as hard as you can. If you're sitting somewhere and you don't have a wall nearby, you could just simply take your hands and just make fists and just really squeeze, squeeze, squeeze it so hard. And then let your hands relax, let the palms open, and then do it again. Squeeze, relax. And this is where it's nice to have, if you do happen to have one of those squishy balls, like a lot of people have them now, you can squeeze them and then just let them open up into your hands, right? So those are really good tools to have. But if you don't, just make your fist, squeeze, relax the hands, squeeze, and just do about, I would say 10 of squeezing and relaxing, tensing, releasing, and then close your eyes and just take about 4 or 5 deep breaths, like diaphragmatic breathing. You could do the box breath, which is 4 counts. We can do that together now so you'll remember, but it's 4 counts on the inhale. There's a 4 count hold. And there's a 4 count exhale. And a 4 count hold. So if you can just imagine a box, right? So go inhale and hold, and then exhale, and then hold. And then each one is 4, right? So 4 counts. So it's pretty easy to remember. And you can have that imagery of a box. So I always do my inhales on the sides and my holds on the top and the bottom. But you can do whatever you want. So you can like some imagery there. So let's go ahead and just do a couple rounds of that on our own. And I'll say you would do this for about a minute. And then once you do it for about a minute, then you can see how you feel. So do the tense and release first to build off that energy that's like stuck in your body. Get rid of it first, then go to the breath. Because if you try to do the breath first, it's not going to work because it's going to be too much, right? There's like too much in there that needs to come out. So wall pushing, or you can do like, I mean, some people can even just do like jumping jacks or push-ups or whatever it is to get that excess energy out of you first. Then you go to the breathing because it'll make the breathing like so much easier. And then after that, you should feel 100% better, like more relaxed, everything. All right, so let's go ahead and go into our Shavasana. If you want your pillow, you're welcome to use it, but you don't have to. You can just slide all the way back into your chair and just kind of lean to the back of it. Hands could be resting somewhere on the belly. You could have one over your heart, one over your belly, whatever you prefer. Again, where we're touching our clothing or our skin, we're going to tune into that tactile sensation. Feet on the floor, sit bones on chair. We'll go through all that again. So feeling all the places where you're touching or contacting a surface. You can notice different things like temperature, texture, whether it feels smooth or rough, squishy, crunchy. There's all sorts of textures, right? Our mind likes that kind of stuff. Then you can take your tongue and just kind of take your tongue and just move it around on the roof of your mouth. So just kind of go up and down all around the roof of your mouth with your tongue. Because then you're touching a lot of the nerves, like the cranial nerves too. And again, these are all signals for relaxing and letting go. And then there's the smooth, relaxed breath. Always think about the exhale is going to be a little longer than the inhale. Short, shallow breathing is anxiety inducing. More relaxed breathing is going to be that longer exhale. Belly breathing, more relaxed. Chest breathing, more stress. Okay, so let's go ahead and start to bring our awareness back into the body. I want you to just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Take a moment, relax everything. Just do a little scan through, not the long we did at the beginning, but just a quick one. From the head down to the arms, fingers, torso, down your legs to your toes. Just take a quick scan. See how things are feeling. If anything feels different, notice your mind. Notice if it's a little quieter. Notice your breathing. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and sit up nice and tall. I'd like to see that mountain pose. And we're gonna bring that intention back into the heart. Take a moment to acknowledge your practice today. Notice how you're feeling. And then with this type of practice, you can do any of this, not all of it, but you can do some of it at any point that you need, whether it's the breathing, whether it's the body scan or the tense and release. All those things are tools that you can use if you need them. They're there. Pretty easy to access, but always remember, ground first. Okay, thumb knuckles up to third eye point, space between your eyebrows. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. And thank you guys so much for joining me today.